Hello everyone, and welcome to Tondemo Crisis, the Japanese version of Incredible Crisis, as we continue on with Ririka. Why are we here? Simply because this minigame is not in the English version of the game. This game is called Karaoke Hime, or Princess Karaoke. And there's a lot of reasons for why this minigame was not included. One of those reasons is that it is a karaoke game for J-pop music. So how this minigame works, pretty much, is that whenever you see a prompt, whether it be pressing the L or R buttons, or a directional button, or a face button, you need to press it at the right time. Or roughly, anyways. It's kind of strange, because in terms of karaoke, this is kind of a filling in the blanks or a finish the lyric kind of game, which is novel, but doesn't really work. I don't know, it sounds kind of like it's natural karaoke in a way, but it also can be a little bit unfair, especially when you do not know the song, which is going to happen when you are an English-speaking person who does not know anything about Japanese culture, or have never heard the song before. So these prompts come up immediately and you have no idea what's going on. If you're curious, the song that we just went through is actually called Triangle Love by GAMO, I believe. Oh, you thought the minigame was over? Not a chance. We have a couple more in order to do. This one is called Dame no Watashi, which roughly translates to My Burdensome Love. Or, My Burdensome Load, sorry. Which is by Atsushi and Yanaka. It's kind of weird that, just like, with this game, that Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra was not involved in it. So, with this game, there's a couple reasons, very obvious reasons, why this was not in the English version. One of them is that it would be really strange to have some J-pop music like this included in an English game, on top of translating each of these songs, which there are 3 of. This is easily the longest minigame out of the entire game. Now, I hope that you've been looking at Ririka as I've been, well, obviously screwing up a bunch of the prompts, because I love her reactions to when you are screwing up, because they are very subtle and pretty reasonable in terms of how you would be in terms of performing on a small stage. Going, dang it, I screwed up. It's the stress of performing, and I do like the attention to detail there. You might also be wondering how I have been able to find out what these songs actually are, seeing as I do not speak Japanese at all. Well, let's just say there is barely any information about the games, about the Japanese games, which steered me into the region of weird Chinese websites, okay? That's how I was able to confirm the information that I found. So, whether it's wrong or not, at least I found something. Alright, and we have one last song. This one is called Koi no Shikaku, or roughly Love's Blind Eye or Love's Blind Spot, by Hajime Omori. That's kind of reasonable why they would just completely skip this minigame, because having to translate all of this into English and pretty much changing the prompts and where they are in order to make them work would be a lot of work in order to do. But then again, this song having a lot of just English words in there is probably the easiest one out of them all in order to translate. Slightly. One last thing to note about this is that it might be just a fever dream to me now, but I know because it was a long, long time ago. But if you were able to find or able to rip these songs out of the Japanese version of Incredible Crisis, you would be able, I believe you would be able to find these songs on the disc. And if you were to just play them on their own, they would play everything but where the prompts are. So there'd be a lot of empty space, which is really weird. Time for the breakdown. I love that breakdown. But yeah, there's just a whole lot going on with this minigame. It's very complex compared to the rest of them. And it's one of two minigames that were not included in the English version. We'll get to the second one in due time. Technically, this is the second one, if we were playing this in order. But in terms of difficulty, this one is really not that bad. It's a nice casual enjoyment, honestly. And I will cut this here. So I will see you next time, everyone, as we take a break from Ririka, and we'll look at the final family member. Next up on our collaborations list is Puffy. Or you might be familiar with them as Puffy Amiyumi in the United States. Or you might be more familiar with them with these two characters from Cartoon Network from the show Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi. Regardless, they are all the same, and they are a prominent pop-rock duo consisting of Ami Onuki and Yumi Yoshimura, who have been performing since around 1995. Their debut single, Asia no Junshin, launched them into stardom with what was called Puffy Mania, leading them to a weekly TV show between 1997 and 2002, success outside of Japan and the United States, as well as the animated series previously mentioned in the mid-2000s, featuring live-action performances from them in the show, as well as a second TV show in Japan in 2006 and 2007. Their success continues as they have celebrated over 20 years of music, and over 14 million sales in Japan alone. So, while all this is going on, in 2006, TSBO worked with Puffy to produce this rather carefree single, which I actually enjoy a lot, called Hazumu Rhythm. Links are in the video description down below. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.